Today we're going to be making, I guess I'll be making, a Wampa claw lightsaber. It looks pretty plain right now. It's because I still got acid etch it, powder coat it, all the fun stuff. But we're going to be stepping out of the Star Wars universe a little bit and stepping into the Warhammer 40k universe, and we're going to be adding some Nurgle touches to this Wampa claw. Now, Nurgle is a chaos god from the Warhammer 40k universe, and he is the god of decay, also known as Papa Nurgle or Grandpa Nurgle. Can't remember exactly. One of the two, or both. Alright, so here I am in the garage with all of the stuff I need besides the hot water. So to create the acid, you're going to need copper sulfate, and if you can find this powdered, it's a lot easier to deal with. I got crystals, so they're big old chunky crystals that I gotta grind down into a powder. You need some sea salt, and you're gonna need a stencil, a vinyl stencil of whatever pattern you want to utilize. I got a nice lady that makes all of my vinyl stencils, which I'll leave a link in the description there to kind of give you guys a spot to get these at. Safety wise, you always want to use gloves, and you want to have a breathing mask, and you want a bucket of water ready just in case something happens, because you never know. If you're like me, you tend to knock things over from time to time. This is the stuff you don't want to knock over just because it's acid. So what are the secrets of making this acid? Basically, you want, what I do personally is half copper sulfate and half salt, and then like I said, in hot water you stir it up, and then it's good to go. Also, another tip, you want to make sure to etch the metal and not your hands, hence why I should always use gloves. Always. And how do you get rid of this stuff after you're finished with it? Well, you just need a lot of water to neutralize the acid. So like you can utilize a bucket of water, or you can use a sink. I wouldn't utilize a kitchen sink or bathroom sink or anything like that. If you have one in your garage, I would use that one. But definitely use a lot of water to neutralize it. That way you won't run into any sort of etching inside your plumbing, which would be not great. So next up, I got to you can see here that this is not entirely covered. I got some spots I gotta add some tape to, just because I don't want those etched. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the tape, and then we will make the mixture and watch it bubble away. So I just finished up grinding the copper sulfate and added the salt in there. This is actually quite a bit. This would be, actually, I don't know how many in grams, but how much in grams? You probably want to stick with 25 grams of both copper sulfate and salt. Alright, so there's the mixture. I gotta stir it up with my plastic doodad here. This is the color you're looking for. It's like this tealish green. Don't want to tilt it too much and spill it, obviously, but get the idea, right? Alright, so you're probably wondering how to tell if it's actually etching or not. You can hear it. You're bubbling. The temperature of the cup will rise just because the chemical reaction is releasing heat. This little guy snuck into the garage. It's not a safe place for pooches. Here it is, all etched up. Removed the stickies and cleaned it up a little bit. Still needs a little bit more cleaning. Alright, to do this part, I'm just going to use a Dremel here. I approach weathering in a abstract art kind of way, where you don't want to clump a bunch of cuts together. I definitely just go by what feels right versus plan it out too much. But not that there's anything wrong with planning it out. So I added all the cuts, dings, gonna be adding some more too, but I'm gonna go ahead and sand this shine away. Already looking pretty good there. So whenever cutting any metal part, really, you're gonna notice that you're gonna leave some sharp edges. You don't want that, especially if you're gonna be using it to duel, or just you know, flip it around, play with it. Just because it might get caught on your skin, and trying to find a good example here, and cut you up. So that's a good way to come on, focus, buddy. That's a good way to fix that. Is yet another Dremel tool, just a sanding disc basically. It'll get all these sharp guys out of the way. And I usually have a clamp, by the way. Don't, well, this is kind of a lower speed tool. It's always good to clamp down and not use your hands to hold this stuff, especially when cutting, because you're just going to cut yourself. I'm just very good at using really dumb methods to make stuff. But hey, you know, I have all my fingers still, so doing something right. This is it, all cleaned up. Almost forgot about these two little guys here. Got a ring down here, and of course this is where the claw is going to be inserted. I'm going to install this guy probably over here. We're going to go ahead and start using this guy. It's one of my favorite tools here, the aluminum black. It's a nice way to add a weathered look to hard to reach places. Wear gloves. This is a acid, so you don't want to get it on your hands. It's not too strong of an acid. You just, you know, you don't want any of that stuff on there. Got a little brush here. And I'm going to grab some of this guy. Let's just start applying it. But what I'm trying to do is get this aluminum black in all of the grooves to darken them, darkening the grooves, darkening. Oh, I can't talk. I'm just wiping off the excess just because it's easier to see where if I missed any spots, so I can reapply. Oh, look at that. Broke another glove. Just want to do a quick look with all of the blue gunmetal sanded away. Well, not all of it, but a lot of the surface stuff. Alright, well, let's get to torching this guy. So we're going to attempt to add this heat distortion look to this by using a torch and some silver. Attach silver to a little glass piece, and just got to carefully blow it on there to get that color going. First you got to heat up the metal. And then gently blow on some silver to this guy, little particles. Somewhat successful. was hoping for more vibrant colors, but like I said, it's hard with this torch to get the right temperature. But this will do. So everything you see here is basically everything you need to powder coat something. In the past, I spent quite a bit of money on just having other people powder coat for me, and looked into it and see how hard it would be to do it myself, and it seemed pretty straightforward, pretty simple. This is not the best setup, obviously. It's the cheaper route, but for what I need, this is perfect. The only thing I would go with is probably a bigger oven. As you can see, this guy right here. It reaches 450 degrees, and for the most part I only need a range of 375 to 400 degrees to powder coat most of the stuff I powder coat, or the most of the powders need that temperature. And today I'm going to be utilizing 3 different powders for this theme. I'm going to do this guy's kind of like a yellowish green candy. It's going to be a flat black right there. And then finally this guy over here is going to be a gold, rose gold-ish tint, but I utilize it more for a clear coat because it really doesn't add that much of a color to it. It's just a hint of it, which you'll see at the end here. So as far as the other tools, this is the powder gun I use. I got this off of eBay. I don't know if they still sell these. They're not great. As you can see, I had to add this guy here to cover up a lot of the repairs I had to do to the handle because it couldn't handle the job. You have to hook up this guy to a piece of metal that is in contact with the metal that you're powder coating. Gives it a charge that makes the powder that shoots out of the gun attracted to it. Where we're gonna put the powder into the box. So powder, you can purchase it from multiple places, eBay. Got a sticker from these guys. These guys have some pretty cool colors. This is where I got that yellowish green. So I haven't seen yet what it looks like, but I mean, I've seen a picture online, but it's always hard to really determine what it's actually going to look like. We're going to start with the yellowish green, and I'm only going to be powder coated in certain spots for that because that's going to be more of like the decay portions of the hilt. So it's not going all over it, but let me get this set up and then we'll get it all sprayed up. Alright, so I got the powder coat in there and we're ready to go. Alright, so it's in the oven now. It's at 400 degrees. I'm going to sit it in there let it sit in there for about 10 minutes. Then let it rest for 10 minutes. And we're going to move on to the black. I know a lot of powder coaters are probably laughing at this setup. I do recommend, like I said, a bigger oven, and if you can afford to buy a regular powder gun that's hooked up to an air compressor, that's always a better option. So here it is out of the oven with the green. It's very light. That's kind of what I was going for there. I'm going to add some rust color too, I think. Now that I'm looking at it. Alright, so let's get this guy hooked up and get the flat black on here. Okay. So it looks pretty coated right now, but like I said, I'm going to be removing most of that just to kind of give it just little hints of it here and there. So it's in the oven and cooking. So the flat black takes a little bit longer. It's about 15 minutes at 375. So when powder coating, patience is key. Definitely don't want to underbake or overbake your coats, and you definitely want to let them settle. At the final phase now of powder coating, just doing the clear coats. Added some rust color here. What's nice is this clear coat will just seal it in. I'll go ahead and add some rust color to this guy too. Whoa, zoom in, zoom out here real quick. There we go. Yeah, so there's the black powder coat on there, and the green. It's the hint of green now, which is perfect. And I add rust to a couple of spots here. Yeah, this is the guy I use. Just spray it into here. As always, just like powder coating, just wear a mask when spraying these paints and whatnot. Let's go ahead and start with the Nurgle symbol here. There's quite a bit on it right now, but I'm gonna wipe it off here pretty soon. Alright, just need to wipe it off real quick and be good to go. Here's the last piece to powder coat. So this part is finally finished. Yay. I had to sand off some of the shine from the body, and also weathered the blade retention screw there. You can see I removed some of the powder coat from other spots there, just to kind of make it pop a little more. So now that this is finished, we can move on to the Wampa claw. We have to paint this and also weather it. But before I do that, we're going to do a brief rundown of all the electronics I'm going to be using. I'm going to be adding a little crystal chamber to the hilts. You see I got a quartz crystal there. It did have some green on it, but I did remove some of it. I wanted it to look like it was getting infected. So crystal chamber, we have to install a LED strip. Not strip, but one of the LEDs from the strip to it, so it lights up and it matches up the colors with the blade. Next up, we're going to need a speaker, and I love these speakers. Then we got our NeoPixel parts we're gonna need. Got a recharge port. We need a 2.1 recharge port here. This guy is going to allow you to recharge your battery. And here it is, the Plector Lab Crystal Focus X. It is a lot smaller than its previous versions, and it looks pretty fantastic. Next up, we got the momentary switches we need. We got two of them here, and you're gonna need the SD card, but I'll show you how to make your own boot sounds, which are always a fun way to personalize your lightsaber.